But we begin tonight with a public appeal for missing British backpacker Grace Millane. A short time ago, police held a press conference to appeal for sightings of the 22-year-old who has not been seen since 7:15 p.m. on Saturday night. The alarm was raised when Grace's family in the UK couldn't make contact with her for her birthday last Sunday. Police say her father Declan is on his way to New Zealand and more than 20 staff have now been assigned to the case. A few minutes ago, Detective Inspector Scott Baird told me that what the police were combing through is CCTV footage looking for sightings of Grace, who was last seen wearing a black dress and white Converse-type shoes.
What we know is that Grace Millane arrived in New Zealand in late November. She was last seen on the 1st of December, that was Saturday, at 7:15 p.m. at Sky City, and we have CCTV footage of that.
Who's with her?
There's a number of people around, and we're trying to try and locate those people and speak to them. We don't know if they're actually associated.
So what happens when she leaves Sky City?
Well, part of the investigation obviously is to seize CCTV from around the city and interview it, and that takes some time. So that's what the investigation is focused on at the moment, as well as finding out a little more detail about Grace herself in terms of her bank records, etc.
So after she leaves Sky City, you have not yet picked her up on any other CCTV footage yet?
No, we have her leaving, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying now to locate and track where her movements are.
Is she on her own when she leaves?
At this stage, we believe so, but we're just keeping an open mind about that.
All right, so she was staying in a central Auckland hostel. Are all her belongings still there?
We know some of her property was there, and we have that. But we don't know exactly what she had, so we don't know what she has on her or if there's anything missing.
Let me put it another way. Is there sufficient belongings there that suggest she was intended to go back to that hostel? It's not as if she'd packed up and was moving out.
No, but I'd agree with that comment. But what we do know is that she had spent some time up in the Bay of Islands. You know, she's doing her OE, so she's going to go to the tourist destinations, and she's done that. And we believe that she has booked further travel in New Zealand, that coming up in the next few days. The concern is that the family have not heard from her, and when her birthday, her 22nd birthday, was on the 2nd of December, that's when you'd expect to hear or for them to be able to contact her. So that is why there is some concern.
And there's been communication silence, nothing?
There's been nothing between her and her family, no.
So you mentioned bank accounts. Has she used the accounts, or has there been activity on the accounts since she left, was last seen on that Saturday, leaving Sky City?
Well, that's part of our investigation, and the report of her being missing came to us around lunchtime yesterday, so just over 24 hours we've started an investigation. Mm-hmm. We have over 20 staff working on this, simply because the CCTV phase is so big and we need to make sure we secure as much as we can. And so,
do you have her phone?
I think,
Detective, do you have her phone?
Well, she had a number of phones, and so we have a couple of phones from the backpackers, but we believe she may have another one or two. So we're keeping an open mind about that, and that's part of our investigation.
So there's potentially 2 other phones that are missing?
Well, we don't know if they're missing or if she has them.
Right. Do you suspect foul play?
Look, the longer this goes on, the more concern there is. They've got a family member arriving in the country tomorrow. We need to consider how they are feeling, and living on the other side of the world, they'd be distraught. Their 22-year-old daughter or sister hasn't been heard from, and so we'll be doing all we can to support them when they arrive.
She had hostel mates. Did she know them beforehand, or who are they in general terms?
Well, I can't go into obviously specific details, but we have spoken to those that shared the room with her.
Were any of them out with her on that night?
No.
Okay. So I imagine that now, this point in time is absolutely critical. What do you need the public to do?
We have released a photo of the CCTV footage when she was last seen, and she was wearing a black dress with some white, what we believe are Converse shoes. Now, anybody who has seen Grace in that clothing around Auckland City in the CBD on that Saturday night, please come forward and tell us.
That is Detective Inspector Scott Baird, who is heading up that missing persons investigation. And the police say anyone with information about Grace's whereabouts should call 09 302 6970. That number again, 09 302 6970.